Hey, what's up everyone? It's Jimbo. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about just the tips that you might need in your detailing business and why you may need some when you think you don't. A lot of guys I've noticed run around just one or two tips, but these are easily, they break easily, especially if you're throwing your stuff down. And so there's a couple kits and I will have them linked below in the comments. And then there's one specialty turbo nozzle that we're going to talk about, but we're going to demo everything. We're going to put them on the electric pressure washer. I'm going to show you what they look like, why you may use some, and in what situations, like this 0 degree tip, where does this one fit in? But that is what we're going to talk about. So in the kits, you do get the 0 degree tip right there, and I'll demo it here in a second. And then this is the 40 degree, this is the 15 degree, and this is 25. So then you have the 15 degree tip. Again, I'll demo it in a second. I just wanted to give you kind of an up close look at it. And then you have the 25 degree tip, which is probably one of the more common ones. I used to run around with the yellow one for a long time, but this is probably one of the more common ones. And then you do have the 40 degree tip, which is probably the most common, but when I demo it, I'll talk about the stubby gun and long wands and stuff like that, and sometimes how you could shortcut this. I believe this is 65 degrees, and you'll see in a sec. I really never use this one, but you never know, so it's good to have it in your arsenal. And then, of course, the turbo nozzle, which has really gained some popularity in the last couple years, and there are some really, really good use cases for it. So let's demo all these. I'll put them in the pressure washer, and I'll talk through it as we show them. So let's go do that right now. So I guess we'll start out with like the least likely one to use, and that's going to be this one right here. This is basically a straight stream. So if you're trying to reach somewhere really high up, but they all have these quick connects like that. So I'll quick connect it into the stubby gun. And I always like to have like you'll notice like I guess the straight part how the nozzle should fit in there, but you could do it according to however you want. So here we go. And you can see why you would never want to use that on car paint. It's for really high, far away surfaces. But where you may use this is like an RV, right? If you're trying to get to the top of an RV, this may be the perfect tip for you. So that is your 0 degree angle. So again, not often used, but good to have in your arsenal, just in case you may be doing, I don't know, say a lifted truck, or, a lot of detailing is just troubleshooting. So having a, group of these tips is important to have just kind of in your arsenal. And that's why I want to talk about it. Next is the 15 degree tip. They're usually yellow, consistent with what this is in this one. And that's what the hole inside will look like right there. So we'll quick connect it onto there, show you what 15 is like. So 15 is better, and what we're going to see is that fan spray kind of come out a little bit more. Again, I usually use this for if you're using like the stubby gun or the stubby handle, I guess rather, and you're looking to get deep inside a wheel well, you're using an RV, you don't want to switch out to your kind of long wand. A 15 degree tip may be a perfect situation for you. Maybe you're on the ground trying to reach the top of an RV. Again, not as aggressive as the 0 degree tip, and the fan is starting to spray out, but you're still creating that distance for yourself. So the next up is the 25 degree tip. This is probably one of the more popular ones. I did run around with the 15 degree tip a lot, but with the 25 degree tip, it's kind of, as we work the 25 and the next one you see, a little bit less aggressive feeling and looking, and gonna have a wider fan spray. But again, if you use the stubby nozzle head, you're gonna be a lot closer to the vehicle. So you can see that fan spray from top to bottom is a lot wider. You may want to turn down the pressure on your pressure washers if you are using the lower degree one. But for the most part, this one's one of my favorites and one that I use often. So the 25 degree tip is, probably my most used tip, and it seems to be the best universal one. Moving on from there, we are moving into the 40-degree tip, which I think is the most common for most detailers. But again, if you're using the stubby handle, you're closer, the higher degree we go, the closer you're gonna be to the car. And so if you're using, cleaning wheel wells, something that's really dirty, really muddy, you may wanna do a longer one. This is probably the most common. Again, you can see how wide that fan spray is right there. And it's not gonna go quite the distance like we saw with the 0%, right? But it's gonna be a little bit less aggressive, or a lot less aggressive, I guess. That is one of my favorites. So for me personally, I probably switch between the 25 and the 40. These are probably the most common, most used, unless I'm doing kind of specialty stuff, and then I have the other tips to go for. This one I believe is a 65 degree. Sorry, I'll show you there, 65, and you could really see that tip, how much is really coming through there. And I'll have all these, they come in a packet, so you don't have to buy them individually. And I'll have everything linked below in the comment or the show notes down there. But you can see how wide. Why are we not working as good here? Is it just, I never, to be honest with you, never really use this one. So seems like I'm losing pressure there, but you can see the fan spray, how big of a fan spray that is. I don't know, maybe I do need to turn up my pressure. I never use this one, so I don't really know, but big fan spray, it's letting a lot of water through, and I never use this one, and it's clearly evident that I don't. So I will say, those are good for the tips. This one is something that's relatively new within the past few years for the detailing space. This is the turbo nozzle, and this is really good if you're using stuff or cleaning really muddy stuff, really crappy stuff. This does not come in the kit, but I will link it up separately. And what it does is it basically oscillates and spins. You can see it right there. So you saw it right when I pulled the trigger in the beginning. It's kind of oscillating and spinning. You can hear it. And it hurts when you touch it. So this is perfect. You're not getting a far spray, but it's spinning kind of in there. You can kind of see it, I guess, spin as it does it. And this is one of the best tips for really heavy duty dirty vehicles. You're getting it spraying out a little bit further, and it's spinning and oscillating, and really can be a highly effective nozzle for getting foam off the car, can be getting a bunch of different things off the car. Always want to make sure you kind of drain them out. But yeah, this is what the tip looks like. And so yeah, so those are the tips, I would say the most common, most used tips that I have found, and conveniently enough, they all come in a kit, most of them, except for the turbo nozzle. That's what this one is called. So again, these are probably, is it the white one and the green? Yeah, I think the white and green, probably most common, most used, but I'd throw the yellow one in there too. Between the white, yellow, and green, those are gonna be the most used ones that I use. This black one, I have yet to find a use for it. The red one, I very, very rarely ever use. But the turbo nozzle has kind of worked its way in. This is really universal. You could use it if you have a super muddy car or even if you don't. So, but those are the tips. I'll make sure to link everything in the description below if you want to check them out on Amazon. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can get first alerted for the videos just like this one. But that is just the tip.